You are listening to the audio production of Is the Lord's Day for You by Joseph A. Pipa, Jr., published by Audiobooks. This book was originally published by Reformation Heritage Books and is read by Bob Souer. Is the Lord's Day for You? Not merely a system of doctrine, Reformed Christianity has always offered an approach to how believers ought to live. Reformed piety springs directly from Reformed thinking, and this piety includes the centrality of the Church, family worship and instruction, strict adherence to God's moral law, and God-centered worship. Foundational to this piety is the concept that the Lord's Day is the Christian Sabbath, which we are to sanctify by acts of public and private worship as well as deeds of Christian service. Today, however, many believers question whether the Bible actually requires Christians to observe one day in 7. Assuming that all days are equal, they think that designating Sunday for worship is merely a matter of the Church's need to have an agreed-on day for worship. Growing numbers of people are repudiating the idea that Sunday is the Christian Sabbath. Historically, the Reformation standards, such as the Westminster Standards and the Heidelberg Catechism, have described purposes and uses for the Lord's Day, which are different from much of the contemporary practice of the Church. So, how should we view the Lord's Day today? Does God expect us to view it differently from the other days of the week? Once a person has worshipped, is he free to spend the day as he pleases? Is it really sin for us to work at our jobs, go shopping, and eat at restaurants on the Lord's Day? In the past, Christians stopped normal working and recreational activities to devote themselves to spiritual pursuits on the Lord's Day, viewing the day as a means of grace. Do we see it that way now? Does the Bible give a clear answer on how we are to observe the Lord's Day? Is the Lord's Day for you? Temporary or permanent? In Deuteronomy chapter 5, Moses reminds the Israelites of the 10 commandments God had given his people at Mount Sinai. The 4th commandment requires that God's people keep the Sabbath day to sanctify it, as the Lord thy God hath commanded thee. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, nor thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thine ox, nor thine ass, nor any of thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates, that thy manservant and thy maidservant may rest as well as thou. Verses 12 through 14. It is clear that the 4th commandment requires a careful observance of the Sabbath.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?